Here we are, video number 2. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain some of the different definitions and kind of a glossary of what some of these things that you're seeing on a HUD Home store site means. Now, if you're interested in a property, you have a number of ways to interact with it. You can either click on the photo here, and that will take you to that listing's information detail page. You can click on this. This is called a property case number. This is the number that HUD uses to identify each property. So those are the two ways to get more detailed information on this listing. You have basically your address and some other information here, the address and the county. You have the price, obviously, the status. This is a new listing. You have 3 bedrooms and you have 2 baths, and you have a listing period. Now, if you see this little question mark here, this will tell you what that means. And HUD lists their properties one of 3 ways. Either as a lottery property, which you can see right here. They list it as an exclusive property, and they also have them listed as extended properties. Now, lottery properties are listed one of 2 ways. Either as a property for a nonprofit or a government agency, or they list them as a good neighbor next door buyer. The nonprofits, when they buy these properties, you have to be a registered, certified nonprofit or a government agency, and you get a 30% discount on the price of the home. So this property here, $97,000. If this property was a lottery property designated to a nonprofit or government agency, they get 30% off of that price. It's a really neat program. And they don't get to bid higher or lower. They all submit the same price, and their number is drawn out of a hat. It's sort of like a lottery, exactly like it sounds. Now, if you're a good neighbor next door buyer, meaning you're a teacher, a police officer, a firefighter, or an EMT, and you're buying this home as your primary residence, you get 50% off of the price. That's an incredible savings. You do have to live there for at least 3 years, and you cannot have owned a home in the prior 12 months. But it's an incredible opportunity for someone who may be new to the home buying process, who hasn't owned a home and needs a property. If I put the cursor over this little question mark, it's going to tell me what that buyer is. So as you can see here, it says nonprofit and government agencies only. So the only buyers that are eligible to bid on this property right now are nonprofits and government agencies. If they do not buy it, and they usually don't, then it's going to go to the general public in a few days, and that will be listed for $97,000. Now, obviously, HUD sells their properties on a bid, so they could go for less or more than that price, which is interesting and kind of neat about HUD Homes. Another neat thing that HUD does is for their listing properties, they normally list them for anywhere from 15 to 30 days exclusively to owner occupants only, meaning that investors cannot buy them. And when you see a property that has the exclusive designation here, and I'll put the mouse over the cursor over the question mark here, it says owner occupants, nonprofits, and government agencies only. So those are the only bidders that can bid on this property. Investors cannot bid on this property. You have to wait till it goes from exclusive to extended. Extended properties are open to all bidders, and you'll see here it says all bidders. So if you're an investor, you're a nonprofit, you're an owner occupant, you can bid on these properties. The only ones that don't get the discount are the good neighbor next door buyers. They do not get 50% off. The good neighbor next door properties are only the ones that are listed as lottery properties. This one here on Dublin Trail is government and nonprofit only, but you can scroll through. You can even come up here if you're a teacher that's looking for a property, or a firefighter, police officer, or an EMT, and you're looking for a good neighbor property in your city. You can click good neighbor here. You can hit search, and it'll narrow down all of the properties. So right now in Texas, there are 5 properties that are open to good neighbor next door buyer participants and government agencies and nonprofits only. So this is a really simple, quick way to find properties where if you're a good neighbor buyer, you can get a 50% discount off that price. Let me go back to explaining a few more details about this home, this site.